Bob's Breakfast.
Let's get the latest news now. Chris Hubbard.
A medical mystery in the news this morning. A hospital patient has come round from an operation to find some of her teeth missing.
Wait a second. So she wasn't having an operation in her mouth?
No, it was a hysterectomy operation.
Is it possible she was upside down on the operating table? Perception is reality. I've got a new car. I want to look after it. So I sent off and I bought these mats, these over mats. They're like a rubbery vinyl thing, and they stink. You know that plasticky, rubbery smell of new, rubber mats. I showed my mother the car. I said, here, sit in it. And it's got leather seats. And I don't think she'd been in a car with leather upholstery before. And she sat down and she could smell this vinyl, and she went, "Ooh, smell that leather."
Skinny dippers have been caught out by a couple of birds while they've been swimming. These red kites have been going and stealing underpants and socks from the people who've been swimming to build their nests with.
The skinny dipping thing is a disturbing thing, isn't it, really? Don't you think?
I would never even entertain the thought. Never.
But here's another reason why not to do. Have you seen that dreadful advert on TV? There's a girl talking directly to camera. Mm-hmm. She's clearly a model.
Yeah.
And she says, we were at this party, this pool party, and everybody decided to take their clothes off and jump into the pool. And at that moment, I thought, I wonder if I'm beach ready. I think that was the phrase she used.
Right.
And it's an advert for a shaver.
Okay.
A razor blade. It's Wilkinson sword. That's who it is.
Yes.
Taking a razor blade to that area? I would have thought, you'd have that professionally done by someone in a beautician of some kind. Oh, there's a waxing or something. I don't know what goes on.
Does she mean her armpits? Maybe that's what it is.
No, I don't think she does.
Okay.
No, the way she was talking, I think she was talking downstairs topiary.
Right. Okay.
There's another link there to this story that I shouldn't mention, but it's just popped into my head, so I'm just going to say it, then we'll laugh nervously and move on. Bird's nest. Hey, at the weekend, I did something I've wanted to do for quite a long time now. My old man, when I was a kid, used to film 8mm cine films, silent colour films of us. I've managed to get them converted to my computer and put them onto YouTube. But I wanted to have my mother do like a director's commentary version. And I went up to the Northwest and we sat and had my computer and a microphone, and I just got her to talk through what she could see on the screen and just give us a little bit more about what was going on. Now, my mum's 79, but it really was an interesting experience. Here's a little bit of it. So we're watching these cine films of me as a baby.
This was taken of Graham in his carry cot on top of the twin-tub washing machine. He was just kicking about and just looking around and looking out the window and doing what babies do. This was one taken of Graham in his pram. I'm so proud of my Silver Cross posh pram.
She tells me all about she's, when you watch it, she's almost as excited about having that pram as she is about having her first baby.
Self-service machines at supermarkets can often be frustrating. You'll often have to get a store assistant over.
They don't work.
No.
They don't work. They never work for me. They never work. You know what happened to me?
No?
It was a Sunday. It was about 3:30. Now, because of the Prevention of Sunday Trading Act, which they're talking about reviewing, by the way, because of that, and it says in the Bible that you get the death penalty for gathering sticks on the Sabbath.
Is that what it says?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, blimey.
No, if you're gay or you gather sticks on the Sabbath or, there's all sorts of horror. It's a pretty awful book, yeah, no. No, if you gather sticks on the Sabbath, someone who is a proper Christian will kill you if you're caught doing that. And apparently shopping is the equivalent of gathering sticks on the Sabbath. Oh, right. So you have to run round in the supermarket before they close the doors, because if you end up shopping after 4 o'clock, I don't know where they got the 4 o'clock bit, how it's okay before 4 o'clock. But anyway, to stop you going to hell.
Is that in the Bible?
Yeah, it must be.
No.
No, actually, it isn't. That bit's one of the made-up bits that Christians make up when they add things. They leave bits out and then they make other bits up. It's very confusing, religion. Anyway, so I'm racing round because it's late and I need some stuff, and I'm just about to go out the door, and Julie says, "Take the bag." And I'm like, I don't take the bag. I object to having to take the canvas bag. I object to that. Okay? I'm not...
You and me both.
Right, I like to go to the shops when I like to go to the shops, and I like the shop to give me a bag. Now, okay, the bags they give you are toxic. They hurt the environment. They fish ingest them, and turtles, and it's terrible, right? But instead of saying to the supermarkets, you're evil. You are evil. When you give us a bag, give us a biodegradable paper bag. You're evil. No, the supermarkets have gone, you know what? It's your fault for not bringing your own bag, so we're going to give one that destroys the environment to punish you. You're not punishing me, you're punishing the turtles. It's the supermarkets that are at fault here, so I object to being the one that's made to feel guilty and to take the hippie bag with me. So anyway, I end up having to take the hippie bag.
Yeah.
And I took the hippie bag and I raced around the supermarket and I got what I needed. But what I did was when I got in the supermarket, I grabbed the basket rather than the trolley. Because I'm figuring, I've got to carry this home. I wasn't in the car.
Yes.
So if I just take the basket, I won't get too heavy. Because I've got to carry it around the supermarket. With the trolley, I could fill that right up and then now I've got to carry this out. If I go only the basket, that's my quota. Once it feels too heavy, I'm done. One bottle of milk. I'm always thinking. So I've got the now I've got the trolley and the hippie bag to try and carry two things. Now I've only got one pair of hands, as my mother used to say. So that was a nightmare anyway. So I'm juggling this. And then I finally get to the checkout, and it's packed because we're now 10 minutes before they're going to close the store because everyone's going to go to hell if they shop after 4 o'clock.
Is this why in my local supermarket all the store assistants go around shouting at people in a massive hurry?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it hasn't made me any more religious. Or even close to it. It's in an attempt to appease the Christians. It's not helped them find another member of their congregation. In fact, it's pushed me further away. But anyway, I get the thing, and I get to the self-service thing, blip, and it's not reading them. And I maintain that when you scan the item, 3 times and it doesn't catch it, then you should get it for free. Because their machine failed, not me. I did exactly what it said. I swept it across with the barcode facing. I played my part. But that doesn't stop. Remember in the supermarket where the girl on the till used to ring everything up? Now, they stand there and look down their nose at you as if you don't know how to use the thing. Hang on, this used to be your job. They're standing there watching you and judging you, and hang on, you used to do this. Now I'm doing your job, and you're looking down. Anyway, so it wouldn't work. It wasn't. To hell with it. And I ran down the checkouts, and I found another checkout there with a human being on it that was empty. There was one lady still finishing off her shopping. There wasn't a big queue. So I put my basket down on the end to claim my place, and then I realised I've left the bloody hippie bag over at the self-service one, which is at the other end of the supermarket. Right. So I raced down to the other end of the supermarket to get the hippie bag, and someone's pinched it.
No!
Yes! So then I ran back to where I was and had to take the bloody turtle-killing bag anyway! I'd like to know, what are you owed? Gary.
My best friend owes me £2,500, and I haven't seen him for 2 months.
And he's
and
what?
I've been around his house, and he's changed his mobile phone number, and I can't get hold of him at his address, and I've known him since I was old.
Well, this doesn't make it right, but if you loan a friend some money and you never see them again, it could be the best money you ever spent.
Yeah, but £2,500 a lot.
Let's hope he hasn't used the money to have plastic surgery.
Yeah,
because you
might need plastic surgery when I get a hold of it.
All right, okay. Thank you very much, Gary. Okay, who owes you? You know, IMF have got some problems, but that's not the end of the story. There's a lot of people are owed. It's an all-winners show because Bob FM's news team won another award. It's the big one, this one. This is the biggest you can win. The Commercial Radio Awards, the Arkiva Awards, were held in the Roundhouse in Camden last night. Star-studded affair. Very, very showbiz. I know Alicia Dixon was one of the people that performed. It really was a serious event. It comes to news coverage of the year. Some huge radio stations, some radio stations with massive resources, massive newsrooms. In fact, one newsroom that covers the whole of Scotland and one newsroom that covers the whole of Wales were up against Bob FM for best news coverage in the UK. The winner, Bob FM. Chris Hubbard, Bev Rimmer, our news team, and that's it. It's a two-person news team that cover this huge patch better than anybody else. It is the best news there is, and they really do deserve the award because they work so hard, bringing you what's really going on, finding the truth, digging down, getting the full story for you. So, to join the winners, we're all winners. It's an all-winners show. I'd like to know what you've won. Debbie.
I won. I took my pony into a little competition.
Yes.
And we won pony that most looks like its owner, which is lovely, but my pony's small, fat, hairy with a big bum.
No! No.
So I was quite pleased, but...
Really? You were quite pleased?
Well, she won a rosette, but it did make me smile.
To add insult to injury, she's the one that got the rosette when you're clearly the one who needs to have some kind of compensation in some way. That's such an insult. Debbie, thanks for sharing. I'm going to put you on our list of winners on our All Winners show. Congratulations. All right, thank you. I'm Graham Mack with another Tale of the Unexpected. This one's been sent to me by Nigel in Watford. Thanks for the tale, Nigel. You know, you can send me a Bob mail anytime you like. So this is the tale of a lady who called up a chemist. Chemist answered the phone. She said, "Excuse me, do you sell incontinence pads?" The chemist said, "Well, yes, we do." She said, "Do you do home delivery?" The chemist said, "Yes, where are you ringing from?" And the lady said, "The waist down." Don't be blaming me for these, they're not mine!
Bob's Breakfast with My Toolshed.
Everybody knows theatre-goers should turn off their mobile phones before performances. You hear the warnings now, you hear them in the cinema as well. But nobody said anything about jumping on stage to recharge a handset until now.
What?
Have you seen this?
No.
There's footage that somebody else filmed of a theatre-goer in New York thinking, you know what, my phone's running out of batteries now. I'm going to plug it in and try and charge it up on stage. This was on Broadway. An audience member leapt up before the performance to plug his device into an on-set power outlet. Now, this power outlet actually turned out to be a prop as part of the play.
It was just part of the set.
Part of the set. It was obviously very realistic. But you can just see this guy scrambling onto the stage in the corner on all fours as he tries to work out how to plug his phone into this socket. I mean, that's such a massive breach of etiquette, isn't it? You wouldn't do that at the theatre.
But no, this is happening now. People's relationship with their mobile phones, it's becoming unhealthy. And it's starting to happen to me.
Really? Why?
Have you got this Siri on your iPhone?
Yes.
Do you use it?
I've not used it in years.
Well, the new OS, I don't know, I've only just discovered it. I think it's since I had the update. It's got a thing where you can switch it on, enable Hey Siri. Have you heard of this?
No.
Is your phone like up to date? Have you updated the latest
Not
software?
yet. No.
When you upload it, check, and all you have to do is say, "Hey Siri." Mm-hmm. As long as the phone's plugged in, you don't even have to touch the phone.
Oh,
like
wow.
last night in bed, I've got the phone by the side of me, and I just said, "Hey Siri," and it talked to me. Now I haven't got it plugged in now, so I have to push the button first. Mm-hmm. But after that, if I say, "Hey Siri," it answers me.
Okay.
But she's developing a personality.
Really?
Yes, listen.
That sounds good.
Right, okay. So if I go like, "Hey Siri, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?"
A woodchuck would chuck as much as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Graham.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Every now and again, she's like, "Hey Siri, make me a sandwich."
I can't. I have no condiments.
Siri's got a sense of humour. I never knew this.
"Hey Siri, what's your favourite movie?"
I found quite a number of films. 10,000 kilometres. A pigeon sat on a branch reflecting on existence. I'm still Alice. Shall I read the rest?
No, thank you. "Hey Siri, do you have a boyfriend?"
I'm not into terrestrial partnerships. I'm more of a free radical.
Good morning, Pete.
Talking about scams.
Yeah.
You were talking about scams this morning. One recently that happened was I was on my way to the shops and I passed a man holding a petrol can with a leather jacket on. And he was explaining to this guy, he didn't see me, but he was explaining to this guy that his motorbike broke down and he needed £3 for some petrol. And as soon as he's got the petrol, he would come back and pay back the money to the man.
Yeah.
And I walked onto the shops, didn't think nothing else of it. 2 days later, walking down the road, and a familiar face, holding a petrol can, same leather jacket.
Same guy.
And he came up to me and said, "All right, mate." And I went, "Hold it, don't tell me. If the bike's broken down the road, you need £3 and you'll give me it back as soon as possible." And he just looked at me blankly and said, "Yeah." And I went, "Yeah, see ya."
And where's this happening?
This is in Charles in Stevenage. He seems to be going up and down all the time. It's the same as the man in the town centre. All of the listeners should be aware that there's a man that walks around the car parks or near the car parks with a key, and he's well dressed. And he approaches people and says, look, my car's parked here. I need £2.10p to get my car out. And, I've forgotten my wallet or whatever. If you leave me your name and address, I'll give it back to you. But as soon as you give him the money, he's off to the bookie. And I've seen him on so many occasions.
Yeah. Hey, thank you very much, Pete.
You're welcome.
Scam-a-llama ding-dong.
Stephen H's Lewis Hamilton's back in the news this morning, maybe for the wrong reasons. He had to miss the Wimbledon men's final. Now, he was offered a ticket to the Royal Box to watch the men's singles final. But, according to this morning's papers and reports, he was refused entry to the Royal Box for falling foul of the dress code. Now, he was due to watch the match between Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer from what really is, it's a massively exclusive area where he
The Royal Box. There's a clue in the name.
Yeah, absolutely. Men invited into the Royal Box need to wear a tie, a jacket, shoes, and Hamilton failed to qualify on this one. Another picture that he posted online showed his actual clothes, which included a hat, but no tie or jacket.
Was he tidy, though?
Well, to be honest, I think he looks quite tidy, quite smart. He looks like a bit of a straw boater hat that he was wearing. Yeah.
You ever had this? You ever been stopped getting in somewhere because you didn't have the right things on?
Yeah. Yeah, I was wearing a pair of trainers. We were trying to get into a nightclub in Leeds.
Yeah.
And I caught the bus back because all my mates had gone into this club.
Yeah.
So I caught the bus back, changed my shoes,
and then went back in.
Yeah. I just thought, what difference is it going to make?
I don't know. I once had a very expensive day at Doncaster Racecourse. It was a show. It's a bigger story than this, but there was this bloke that used to. I worked on the radio in Nottingham, and a bloke used to ring me up, and he was a tipster. He would give racing tips.
Oh, okay.
And his racing tips were pretty good. And he had this company. What was it called? It was called thepuntersmate.com.
Right.
He ended up going over to America and doing it there as betbuddy.com. Wow. Oh yeah, no, this guy.
Serious money.
And he used to, and he put these racing tips on the air, and they were pretty accurate. So anyway, he rings me up one day. He said, yeah, he said, I'd like you to present the winning owner with their prize in a race I've sponsored at Doncaster.
Fantastic.
And I'm like, really? I've never done that before. That must be, tick that off. That'd be interesting to do.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, oh yeah. He said, I've got a box. I'm like, well, this sounds like the perfect day, right? You've got a box that's fully catered, all your food and drink.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to present one of the racehorse owners of one of the races, the Punter's Mate Stakes or whatever the hell race he'd sponsored. I'm going to present the winner. And as well as that, I've been invited to the races by a tipster. Like, how can I not lose here? I'm laughing, right?
Yeah.
Well, I get there, no tie on, did I? So they said, you can't come in without a tie. So I said, do you sell ties? They said, yeah. So 10 quid. So I'm 10 quid down going in to buy this awful tie.
Yes.
That I'm wearing now.
Was
I
it
wasn't
horse themed?
No, I can't remember, but I wasn't wearing the kind of shirt that looked good with a tie. I had a collar.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really anyway, so I looked like an idiot. And I'm 10 quid down. So the first race comes up and I said to him, mate, which one do you fancy in this one? He said, I don't know. I thought, okay, right. Oh, well, right. I'm not betting. Because if he doesn't know. So the next race comes and said, which one in this one? He said, I don't know. I'm like, so I'm not. And then the third race, I said, and he said, I don't know. And I'm like, wait a second. Aren't you an expert on racing? And you don't know on the first 3 races at this race meeting? And he's like, no, I don't know anything about horse racing. I'm what? Like, don't you run a website and you've sponsored a race? Are you serious? And he's like, yeah, I'm a mathematician. I'm what? And the way he worked was, he looked at the tipsters in the daily newspapers and he worked out the hit and miss rate mathematically for each one of the tipsters. So if someone hadn't had a win for a while, he worked out which tipster was most likely to pick a winner next based on the tipster's success average. So whichever horse that tipster that was that's the one he told you to bet.
See.
But he's dealing with every race meeting throughout the country, not just one race at one meeting. He didn't have a clue. He knew nothing about horse racing. And he was a racing tipster. So then I started just as a mug punter betting on, names and jockey shirts and whatever.
That's the usual way things go.
And lost even more money. Scam Awareness Month. What do we need to be aware of? Badger.
In the Old Town High Street in Stevenage, there's a guy that drives up and down, and he pulls over and he lets you know he's got this last watch. It's a designer watch and it's really expensive and that. What he does, he shows you an advert in a magazine.
Yeah.
And it's got the watch in the magazine. It's an expensive magazine. It's an expensive advert.
Yeah.
And he says all the watches are serialised. Yeah, there's only so many in the number.
Yeah.
And he shows you the watch and it's got a number on it. Yeah. Well, of course, he's got hundreds of them in his car.
He shows you the actual watch, yeah.
Yeah, the actual watch, yeah. But of course, you think it's real because you see the advert in the magazine.
Yeah.
And he just says he's a salesperson. He's got one left over.
Yeah.
And he just does it all the time.
And how much is he selling them for?
Oh, a few quid. I never got that far because I'd heard about him before.
Right.
When he pulled over and said, "Excuse me, mate," he said, "Excuse me, mate, are you local?" I said, "Oh, I'm glad you pulled over." I said, "Do you want to buy a watch?" He just laughed and drove off.
Major storms last night. Let's get a storm report now from Sharon.
We slept through it.
You missed the whole thing.
Yes.
And what about this morning?
We've been opening birthday presents.
So you're completely oblivious to the carnage outside your window?
It all looks okay to me.
Oh, looks okay to you. And where is this?
In Hertford.
In Hertford. Which street?
Clyde Terrace.
Which one is it?
Clyde Terrace.
Clyde Terrace in Hertford. No problems caused by the storm. The road is running freely in both directions.
Yes.
That is great. And whose birthday is it?
It's Noah's. He's 8 today.
Noah is 8. Wow. Can you put Noah on the phone?
Yes. Come on, Noah. Quickly.
Hello.
Noah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Noah. Happy birthday to you. Have the best birthday, Noah, and we can't guarantee a spectacular storm every year, but this year, this is the one.
Say thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Say thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bob's Breakfast with mytoolshed.co.uk.
There's an embarrassing picture doing the rounds of our head of state. Yes, the Queen doing a Nazi salute. Now, put it into perspective. It was 1933, before anybody knew the full horror of the Nazis. It was way before the war, and she's a little girl. She's larking about in this picture, but it is embarrassing, and I'm sure she didn't want it to get out. We all have embarrassing photos and video that we hope never gets out. What's yours, Vince?
One bad afro haircut.
A bad afro hair? You had an afro haircut?
In the days of when they were fashion. And when you see it, it's really embarrassing.
And how old were you at the time?
16.
16. You thought you were the hippest, coolest guy around.
They are leaning against my car.
Leaning against your car.
My first car.
You thought you were the business. And now you just hope it never gets out.
That's true.
All right, mate.
All
Thanks a
right,
lot,
that
Vince.
picture.
Cheers, Vince. This is the exciting game of Rock Band or Racehorse. Fantastic prize as well. Stand and Calling is a festival that's coming up featuring 40 acts, including Basement Jacks, The Horrors, the Dandy Warhols. These tickets are glamping tickets. Accommodation in style at a music festival. Who'd have thought it, but it can be done. Let's meet our latest contestant. His name is Ben. He's a lorry driver from St Albans. Good morning, Ben.
Morning, Graham.
Do you know your rock band from your racehorse?
Well, I certainly hope so, as soon as I'm live on air.
Yes, so do I. All right, now all you have to do, I'm going to give you a name. It is either the name of one of the bands performing at Stand and Calling, the festival, or it's the name of a racehorse that is running today.
Okay.
Okay. Here comes your first name. The first name is Galvanise. Galvanise, rock band or racehorse? Galvanise.
Rock band.
You're going with rock band, and that's the wrong answer. Galvanise is running at the 2 p.m. at Newbury today. Not a great start at all, Ben. You still need to get 3 right. Here comes your next name. Bondax. Bondax, rock band or racehorse?
I'm going to go rock band again, Graham.
You're going to go rock band again, and you are right. Bondax is an electric music duo consisting of English musician Adam Kay and George Townsend. So you just need 2 more to win the glamping tickets to Stand and Calling. Here comes your next name. Sink the Pink. Sink the Pink, rock band or racehorse?
Racehorse, Graham.
You're going with racehorse, and Sink the Pink, founded in East London in 2008, is an antidote to expensive, soulless mega clubs. Each party is themed and decorated. Here, you still need another 2. Here comes your next name. Black Honey. Black Honey, rock band or racehorse?
Racehorse.
You're saying racehorse, and the answer is Black Honey are a Brighton-based band.
This is
and they're playing at Stand and Calling. You still need to get 2. Here comes your next one. The next one is In the Red. In the Red. Is In the Red a rock band or a racehorse?
Racehorse.
You're saying racehorse, and you are right. In the Red is running at Newbury at 2 o'clock in the same race as Galvanise, actually. You just need 1 more, Ben. Here comes the next name. Ocean Crystal. Ocean Crystal, rock band or racehorse?
Rock band.
You're saying rock band, and Ocean Crystal is Running at Newmarket at 5:40. You still need one more. Light Up My Life. No, sorry, I got the name wrong. Light Up Life. Light Up Life, rock band or racehorse. Either a horse racing today or one of the acts at Stand and Calling. Light
Rock
Up
band.
Life. You're saying rock band, and the answer is Light Up Life is running in the 150 at Nottingham today. I'm sorry. Okay, here comes the next one. Canyon Ride, rock band or racehorse. You just need one more. Canyon Ride.
Racehorse.
You're saying racehorse, and Canyon Ride is a country rock playing American psychedelic music and Stand and Calling. Here comes your next name. You still need one. Jack Carter, rock band or racehorse? Jack Carter.
Racehorse.
You're saying racehorse, and Jack Carter is running at Pontefract in the 6:30. So congratulations, Ben. Well done. You're good at this game. You've got yourself glamping tickets to Stand and Calling.
Bob's Breakfast.
So these pictures of the Queen are doing the rounds of her doing a Nazi salute. She was a kid at the time. It was 1933. I don't think there's anything malicious in it. It's just embarrassing for the head of state. Everybody's got embarrassing pictures that they hope never get out. What's yours? Carol?
Well, I have one of me back in the 80s. We were, me and my mates, we were on holiday, and we'd been out for a drink that night, and when we got back to the hotel, I decided I wanted to go swimming.
Okay.
And I done no more. I completely stripped off and dived into the pool. And they took a photograph.
There is a naked photograph of you out there.
Yeah.
And I want to be delicate, Carol, but how graphic is the photograph?
The full Monty.
Oh, no! Oh,
yeah.
And where is this photo right now?
Upstairs.
You haven't destroyed it?
No.
Why?
I don't know. It was just so funny, I suppose. I literally had to hide it from my children a few years ago because going back X amount of years ago, it was my 40th birthday, and I wanted to put it on a collage, and no way.
Did you put it on a collage?
No, they didn't. I hid it.
Okay. Oh, they wanted to put it on a collage.
Yes.
Right, I see. Right, okay. They know it exists. They've seen it. They've been through therapy.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, dear.
Carol, thank you so much for sharing. Let's hope it never gets out. Okay.
All right,
thank
my
you.
darling. Take
Cheers.
care. Have a good day.
And you too. There's a new MTV show coming up. It's called Fired by Mum and Dad, and it's about kids who sponge off their parents for way too long. There's one of them is a story there of Robin. She's 21. She lives at home. She's had 30 jobs, including one that lasted for just 6 hours. So the Guinness Book of Listeners is open this morning. I'm looking for who's had the most jobs. Currently, Lee has the record with 9, but Claire, you think you've got that beat. How many jobs have you had?
26.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Wow. Were they all similar?
No, I did a lot when I was travelling. That's why it jumped up. But I did a lot when I was a teenager as well.
So what kind of jobs were they?
Everything from retail to fast food to phone lines and leafleting and everything.
So where did you travel?
I went to America and Canada.
Yeah, for how long?
2 years.
Right, and you just picked up whatever work was going?
Well, it was in between working at a summer camp and at a ski resort and stuff, so it's like in between jobs.
Yeah. Best job you ever had?
There's a couple, actually.
Yeah.
One of them was working at a gym. I really loved it, loved all the people.
Uh-huh.
And the one that sticks out in my mind was an adult entertainment phone chat person.
Oh, my good. You had to talk dirty to people for money.
Yeah, it's quite funny.
And were they all freaks?
No, it was actually actually, the some of them were quite nice people to talk to. They just always wanted to chat to most of the time.
Did they really? Except the conversation was, shall we say, a little bit adult in nature.
Yeah.
Oh, and what about the worst job you ever had?
Was working for a company that dealt with electrical appliances.
Oh, what, just selling them?
Yeah, it was really boring.
Was it? All right, well, you've got
one of my first jobs, though.
you've got the record at 26 jobs. Let's see if anyone can beat that.
Okay.
This morning we've been talking about photographs of you that you hope never get out. Wrap this up for us, Elaine.
We were on holiday in Turkey,
Hmm.
and I was swimming with the dolphins and had an asthma attack.
You had an asthma attack?
Yeah, and as they pulled me out, my bra top came off.
And there's a photo of that.
Oh, yes, and a video.
Oh, there's a video as well?
Yeah. Oh, my husband has great pleasure in telling everybody.
Oh, dear. All right, well, let's hope they never get out.
Well, they won't.
Yeah. All right. Unlike the contents of your bra top, which clearly did. All right, thank you very much, Elaine.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Bob's Breakfast with My Toolshed. New trader? Pop in for a coffee and a chat at My Toolshed, Welham Green.
Who's had the most jobs? The Guinness Book of Listeners is open this morning. Sam?
Oh, I don't think that I can get into that Guinness Book of Jobs. I think I've had 12.
12 is still a respectable number. You've beaten Lee, but you're nowhere near Claire. She's on 26.
Ah.
Now, these 12 jobs, were they all in similar lines of work?
Oh, yeah, all admin.
All admin. Yeah, you've never done anything else?
No. When I was 16, I worked at B-Jam.
What's that?
Well, it was before Iceland.
Oh, right. And how was that work?
That was actually really good fun. It was my 16-year-old job, you know, sitting on the till, putting through the food to people, and actually I met my first love there.
Wow, love at the checkout. So you were a checkout chick?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, and who did you meet? Was he a junior manager, maybe?
No, he was warehouse boy.
Warehouse boy and the checkout chick. That's all right. Love on the job. And how long did that last?
Just under a year.
All right, a nice fellow, was he?
Oh, he was smashing.
Oh.
Yeah.
What went wrong there?
Too young.
Ah, yes, young love. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you live and learn, don't you?
Live and learn. And what did your boss think of you having a relationship at work?
I think he was actually quite okay with it, considering he was knocking off one of the checkout girls himself.
Okay, all right. We have way too much. Thank you very much, Sam, for your work history. I got to play you this. We were talking about embarrassing photographs yesterday that you hope never get out, and embarrassing video, and thanks for all your calls on that. There is an embarrassing video that for a while I hoped wouldn't get out, but I've put it out now. I've put it on YouTube. It's from many, many years ago, the first proper band I was in. This is in New Zealand. The band was called Liverpool Direct because we all used to wear the suits and kind of look like the 60s beat groups. And we used to do 60s beat group music. And one of the tunes we did was The Who, Pinball Wizard. I found an old VHS tape of it, and I've now put it on YouTube. If you search Liverpool Direct on YouTube, you'll find it. And I can't believe how fast we used to play this song. Now, The Who's version is about 3 minutes long. I timed it. We do ours in like 2 minutes 14. I don't know whether we were influenced by New Wave or we were just so young, but this is how fast I'll just play you a bit of it. It was at a gig, you see. When I start singing, I can barely fit the lyrics in.
Ever since I was a young boy, I played a silver ball. From Soho down to Brighton, I must have played the ball. But I ain't seen nothing like him in any amusement hall. That deaf from a blind kid sure plays a mean pinball.
I mean, it's going at a hell of a pace. Listen to the original. It sounds like a ballad now.
Ever since I was a young boy, I played the silver ball. From Soho down to Brighton, I must have played them all. But I ain't seen nothing like him in any amusement hall. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball.
I was trying to think what my first close to real job was. I had a paper round, but after that I had a Saturday job at Liverpool Airport in the Argyle restaurant. I used to wash the dishes. Well, my official title was kitchen porter, which meant I loaded and unloaded a huge Hobart industrial dishwashing machine. But like the pans and stuff, you had to get in there and scrub them. It was a terrible job. Anyway, I found out reading in a book about 12 months ago that John Lennon, that was his Saturday job, was in the restaurant in Liverpool Airport, kitchen porter, washing the dishes. So how cool is that? I got John Lennon's old job. Now, it gets better. That airport was called Speak Airport, and they don't use it anymore. They built a new airport in Liverpool, and the new airport is called John Lennon Airport. Yes, they named the airport after the bloke that used to wash the dishes in the restaurant there. Now, years later, I was the bloke that did that job. So, the next airport they build in Liverpool will be called Graham Mack Airport.
106 Bob FM.
A convicted robber serving a 9-year sentence has been let out of a jail in London by mistake. Now, police are hunting for 34-year-old Ryan Byrne. He was released in error from Wandsworth Prison. The prison service informed the Met Police that he'd been released on Friday. They said an investigation has been launched off the back of this.
How does this happen?
Police are now obviously trying to recapture him. That's
Did
right.
somebody just come up to him and go, no, is it like that scene for Life of Brian? Crucifixion, one cross each.
Next. Crucifixion. Good. Out of the door, line on the left, one cross each. Next. Crucifixion. No, freedom. What? Freedom for me. They said I hadn't done anything, so I could go free and live on an island somewhere. Oh, well, that's jolly good. Well, off you go then.
Steve.
Morning, Graham. No chance to the airport, mate.
You don't think?
I don't think so.
They've set a precedent. That's how you get the airport named after you. You just have to start washing the dishes. Eventually, they name the airport after you. They've started the thing in motion.
You can hope.
Okay. Let's talk about your work history. How many jobs have you had, Steve?
Only about 10.
10? That's still pretty good going. All in the same line of work?
Well, yeah, more or less. I've been in distribution, and then I got my HGV licence, and then obviously went on to the lorries, got fed up with that. Now I'm back in the factory with, driving forklifts. Still driving lorries when I'm asked, but
yeah,
that's about it.
What do you prefer, driving a lorry, the thrill of the open road, or the forklift?
Yeah. Well, definitely the lorry.
Yeah, just like being on your own, eh?
Absolutely.
You've got to enjoy your own company for that gig, I would have thought.
Well, as long as you've got a good radio station and a friendly DJ, it's quite...
I love the way you turn that. I'm loving your work here. I'm loving this, Steve. Thank you so much.
I'm doing my best.
All right, thank you. Let's meet our latest contestant. Her name is Sam, and she's stark naked. How are you, Sam?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm sitting in the bath.
Yes. So you've got the now it's a battery-operated radio, I hope.
Well, it's on my phone.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so you're listening to Bob on the phone. Now, are you listening through the TuneIn app or through the Bob app?
No, I've got TuneIn radio,
Okay.
so I'm phoning you from the house phone.
Oh, I see. Okay, right. So you're listening to us. You're in the bath. You're enjoying the bath, the magic of the moment. You hear what's Bob doing, and you think you'll call up.
Yes.
Okay, which is why it's a little echoey in there.
Yeah, I'm ever so sorry. I can get out, or I can lean closer to the door, so it's not quite so echoey.
I think you should stay in there. I don't want to see anything I shouldn't. I think we're fine as we are, Sam.
Yeah, not a good look when you've got no nets up on the windows either.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, you're quite the exhibitionist.
No, but I have a big towel.
Okay.
So I can wrap that round me so the neighbours won't see anything.
All right, but right now you're in the bath, you're in the water.
I am.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see if we can give you some money. This could be the best bath you've ever had.
Yeah, everyone else has thought that for the last God knows how many months as well.
Yes, I know, but that's the way it goes. It's been going up by a fiver every day I play the game. The prize, 1,826 quid. That money will be yours, Sam, right now, if you can tell me, what's Bob doing?
I think Bob has put the kettle back onto the base and switched it on.
Sam!
Graham.
It's not what Bob's doing.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. That's the bad news. The good news, you weren't so nervous that you were talking on the radio that we heard bubbles. Have you ever been caught out by being on TV? This has happened to you, Kay.
Yeah, I got caught out. What it was, I asked my mum and dad if I could go to London with a friend up to Oxford Street. And she said no, so we said, all right, then we're just going to Stevenage Town.
Yeah, and how old were you at the time?
About 13.
Okay, yeah.
And so we went into Stevenage Town and jumped on a train and went to London.
Right.
And we both had these really fluorescent jackets on.
Yeah.
We was in Oxford Street and there was some sort of demonstration going on, so we thought, well, we'll have a look. So we stood on the side of the road watching. Anyway, we got home and Mum said, oh, did you have a nice time in town? I said, oh, yeah, it was really good. You know, we did this, did that. And she said, you little liar. She said, you were on the 6 o'clock news.
No! Not the perfect crime.
So we were on the news and everybody saw us in our fluorescent jackets.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm Graham Mack, victim of an electronic mutiny. It seems like everything I touch, it's just driving me crazy. The dishwasher goes off in the middle of the night and makes me turn it off. Why can't it do that itself? It's finished washing the dishes. Why can't it just, turn the power off? No, I have to get, because it goes beep, beep, beep. And then then like an hour later, it does it again. Beep, beep. And then about the third time, you have to get up and then you go and fix it. It's just a nuisance. And if that wasn't bad enough, I've got the enemy in my pocket. What's supposed to be a virtual assistant is causing me more problems than ever. It's this Siri on the iPhone. And if I have the phone plugged in on charge, like if it's charging even in the car, and I talk to it, it talks back without me even pushing the button. But it's useless. Let me just show you. Hey Siri, tune into Bob FM. See? Nothing. It's supposed to find Bob FM and start... Now what's it doing? Honestly... Oh. Nothing. It's supposed to... Oh. Find Bob FM and start... Oh, it's tuned in. Now what's it doing? On the app. Honestly... Oh. Which means I'm hearing myself in delay. Find Bob FM. So now... Oh, it's tuned in. Now what's it doing? On the app. It's taken the electronic mutiny to another level. Not only is it now doing as it's told, because it knows I'm on the radio complaining about it not doing as it's told, to take the mickey, it's playing me back to myself in a delay to make me even more angry. Complaining about it not doing as it's told. To take the mickey, it's playing me back to myself in a delay to make me even more angry.
Bob's Breakfast.
What's your big screen moment, Tracy?
My husband and I were going out with a friend on a bike ride through country lanes in Hertfordshire.
Yeah.
And I had shorts and sort of a little top on. Okay for my age, but we got passed by a big lorry that was filming for Countryside Live. And my husband thought he was so good because he just whizzed off. We didn't notice that the lorry was filming. But actually, they started waving. I was waving back. And when it was played back, it was basically my bike and me and my breasts on Countryside File.
Oh, because the top you had was low.
Yeah, well, it was if you're leaning forward, I suppose.
Right.
So my husband thinks it's great. And he wasn't even in the film, so he was a bit annoyed.
Oh, that he wasn't in the film.
No, he thought it was great because he was whizzing off on his bike.
Yeah.
Thinking, look at me, I'm the man.
Yes.
5 years old.
Yeah, and you and the twins became the star of the show. And
yeah.
and they got a pretty good shot of Sleepy Hollow. Yeah.
It was a little bit like that, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thank you very much, Tracy.
All right, then.
Okay, thank you. Cheers. Bye. I'm Graham Mack. Let's get the latest news from Chris Hubbard.
The scale of royal opulence is being revealed this morning, with the secrets of state banquets at Buckingham Palace being talked about. For hosting a dinner for 170 people at the palace, which opens its doors again to the public this weekend, they are staging an elaborate state banquet reconstruction of how it would look if you had various world dignitaries in there as well. Now, a time-lapse video condenses down 10 days of work involved in creating one of these banquets, in decorating the enormous table ready for 170 guests. 10 days, including 1,700 pieces of cutlery, all laid out using rulers to get the precise spacing measurements correct. They don't just go to the cutlery drawer, grab a handful of knives, forks and spoons and just lob them on the table and fold up a bit of kitchen roll. No, I mean, this is really, really elaborate stuff. They also take 3 days just to get the cutlery in the right place on here. It's just phenomenal, the amount of effort and time they take.
How money it costs.
Well, yeah, this is half of it. I mean, it's not cheap. If you think there's 10 days worth of expert work, I mean, the people who are laying the tables as well, it won't have been the first time that they've done this. Have got years
someone
of
who's
training.
listening right now, a contractor, electrician or plumber or a contractor, fencing contractor, the amount you would bill for 10 days work.
Yeah. Absolutely.
For 10 minimum 8 hours, minimum usually 12 when you work for yourself. But the amount of that would cost just in labour.
Yes.
Per person.
When we were on holiday, actually, in Turkey, we saw a building go up in 10 days. I mean,
these guys can't set the table in 10 days. I'm Graham Mack, the victim of multiple electronic mutinies. If it isn't the dishwasher beeping to tell me it's finished, I don't care that it's finished, but I still have to get up and switch it off or it'll beep again in an hour. It's this damn Siri, this supposed personal assistant on my iPhone. It's supposed to help me out. She won't even give me a straight answer. Hey Siri, is Bob FM the best radio station in the world?
Okay, I found this on the web for iSiri. Is Bobby FM the best radio station in the world?
I don't care what you found on the web. I want you to give me... She won't give me a straight answer to anything. Are you the victim of an electronic mutiny, Elaine?
I'm not, actually. I haven't got... I listened to that on the radio coming into work this morning, and
Yes.
I'm thinking, no, I haven't got anything. I can't think of anything that's really upsetting me at the minute, electronically.
No, all right, so you're safe from the electronic mutiny?
I am at the moment.
Let me show you how... Let me show you how annoying this Siri thing is. Ask Siri a question.
How far away is Glasgow?
It looks like Glasgow, Scotland is about 322 miles away as the crow flies.
Hey, she's behaving for you. I can't get any sense out of her. You ask her a question and she knows the answer.
It's because you must be asking a daft question. That's all I can think.
Don't you join in. Hey, Siri, are you ganging up? Are you ganging up with Elaine on me?
Who, me?
Yes, you. Are you and Elaine in cahoots together to wind me up?
No comment.
Oh, jeez.
Bob's Breakfast with My Toolshed. New trader? Pop in for a coffee and a chat at My Toolshed, Welham Green.
I think I've found the greatest policeman in the world. Now, this video has gone viral. You may have already seen it. It's just brilliant. Well, in Louisiana, they do things a little bit differently to the way we do things here in the UK. There's a local TV station called KATC, Channel 3. It's the ABC affiliate. And they do a thing called Crime Stoppers, which is a lot like our Crime Watch, only much better. It's a very low budget thing. What they do is they take Lieutenant Clay Higgins from St. Landry, Louisiana Police Department, and they shoot a piece with him at the location of a crime. And he talks directly to the camera, and he talks directly to the perpetrator of that crime. Now, this video, he's in the car park of a supermarket called Stellies. And it's a supermarket and a restaurant. And he's standing there in a car park. You can see the restaurant in the background. And he looks like those state troopers that you see in those like Smokey and the Bandit movies, or maybe Dukes of Hazzard. And he's got the badge and the gun, and he's got his thumbs in his belt. And this is Lieutenant Higgins.
On Wednesday night, July the 8th, Stellies Market and Restaurant on Highway 71 was broken into and burglarized. The thief smashed the front glass with a large rock, kicked in the office door, and made off with hundreds of dollars in cash. Watch as a man commits his crime. Look at him close. The hooded jacket he's wearing is camouflage. He appears to be light-skinned or white, and he looks to be around 6 foot tall and thin. Watch how he walks, with sort of a lanky gait.
So they're showing you the security video now from when the restaurant and supermarket was burgled.
Stellies has been a local favorite for decades. The family works hard and is known to be generous. Always with a kind word for friend or stranger, the Stelly family represents Southern hospitality at its best. If you're the man that committed this felony, look at me, son. I'm talking to you. The sheriff likes Stellies restaurant, and so do I. The food here is good, and the folks are friendly. We're going to identify you, arrest you, and put you in a small cell. After that, I'm going to have a cheeseburger here with fries and a Coke, and leave a nice tip for the waitress. Meanwhile, your next meal will be served through a small hole in a cell door. Because our detectives harvested DNA from the rock you used, and you left a perfect boot print on the door you kicked in. But we won't have to wait on lab results, because you're on St. Landry Crime Stoppers tonight. Congratulations, son. I'm about to make you famous. By tomorrow, 100,000 people will have watched you commit a felony. You will be recognized. And the people that know you don't really like you anyway. So when it comes down to a choice between you and $1,000, they'll take the cash. On behalf of Crime Stoppers, I'm Lieutenant Higgins.
Isn't he
If you
great?
have any information on this crime, call Crime Stoppers at 948-TIPS. You could earn up to a $1,000 cash reward.
The people who know you, they don't like you. When it comes down to you or the money, they're going to take the cash. He says, I'm going to make you famous. I'm going to have a cheeseburger and a Coke, and you're going to be fed through a hole in the door in the cell. He's brilliant. He is what all cops should be. He is, and you know, when you have dealings with the police, sometimes you get really good cops, and sometimes you don't. I know when I worked in Australia, I didn't have a car, and I worked at a station 5SE, Mount Gambier in South Australia. I used to walk a mile, I think it was about 2 miles to work, to do the breakfast show. So one morning I'm walking along, and the cops pulled me over. I mean, I'm walking, I got a briefcase with like all, you know, music notes in it and things I was going to talk about on the show that morning. I said, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to do the breakfast show on the radio station. And, oh, well, that's you. I'll get in. And from then on, the cops used to pick me up, blue lights flashing from my house, and take me to work. They were great cops. I know I worked at a radio station in Parks in the central west of New South Wales, where there was a big party for some guys who owned one of the pubs were leaving. They had a big party at the Racecourse, which was out of town. The cops showed up and said, we don't want anyone drinking and driving. We'll give you all a lift back to town in the paddy wagon. We went back into town in the paddy wagon. Great cops. Then again, sometimes you have dealings with the police and they're not so good. I once bought a car off a policeman, and I bought it cash. It was in New Zealand. It was about $4,000. Well, anyway, somebody nicked some money from the police station, and they turned to me and thought that maybe I'd somehow done some shifty maneuver and not given them all the cash. Well, the guy gave me a receipt. They showed up to where I worked. This had nothing to do. I said to him, do you think I would rip off a policeman inside a police station? Because we'd actually gone inside the police station to count the money out to buy the car off him. I mean, sometimes you get cops which are not good cops. Sometimes you get bad cops. So good cop, bad cop? I would like to know this morning your story of when you've dealt with the police. What's your story, Duncan?
Definitely a good cop story.
Yes.
What happened was, I was coming home from work. This is a long time ago now. I was driving home from work, and I was on my mobile, which obviously you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I had no seatbelt on, and I was doing about 40 and a 30.
Right.
Next thing, blues and twos come on behind me, and I'm like, I'm banged to rights here. Which one are they going to do me for? Because as I say, I was just completely banged to rights.
Yeah.
Pulled me over, did the checks on the cars and what have you. Everything came back good. And then all of a sudden, they completely changed. And I thought, hang on, they went back to their car and came back to me and said, it's your lucky day. I went, right. And they said, we've been called away to another job. They said, well, don't do it again. If we catch you again, we'll throw the book at you. I was like, right. I've gone, okay then. And they said, put your seatbelt on, get off your phone and stop the speeding. Yep, okay. So I get home and I get a phone call about 10 minutes later. And I get a phone call and it was my dad.
Yeah.
Who was a traffic copper.
Yeah.
Now, he'd heard it all going on, doing the checks on me and on my car on the radio.
Yeah.
And he said, look, he said, do me a favour. He said, it's my boy. He said, yeah, he's in the wrong. He goes, I'll deal with him when he gets home. He said, give him a stern telling off and send him on his way.
Brilliant. And I reckon having your dad tell you would have more effect on behaviour than actually getting tickets.
Without a doubt. I'll tell you what, I thought I was looking at points, fines, and then I got home, I would have taken the turn off any day in all week.
Duncan, that is a great good cop story. Thanks for sharing.
All right, mate, take care.
Thank you. Cheers. I'd like to know your good cop, bad cop story. Your experience with the police. Was it good or was it bad?
Former Smith frontman Morrissey is in the news this morning, claiming he was groped by a security officer.
He's a bit of a whining baby, though, isn't he, Morrissey? I mean,
He does have his moments.
All his songs are miserable, about being miserable, and he's just a miserable git. And there was a thing happened a few years ago. He was playing in, I think it was in the Northwest somewhere. I think it was Liverpool, I might be wrong.
Yeah.
And somebody threw something at him when he was on stage.
That's right,
During
yes.
the first song.
Yeah.
And he threw a hissy fit, stormed off and refused to do the rest of the gig. Now, I can say that he's a wimp because I've had that happen to me. I had a beer bottle thrown at me when I was lead singer in a band in New Zealand once.
Oh, really?
And here's how we dealt with it. Throw him out and we'll carry on. And that was the end of it. It was, I'll tell you the story just for the sake of it, just to give it some context, because I don't want people to think I was a bad singer or there was something wrong with our act.
Yeah.
But we had guitar, bass and drums. That was the band. That was it. And this guy at the back kept shouting, play some Jim Morrison, play some Jim Morrison. Now, we didn't do any Doors numbers because we didn't have a keyboard.
Oh, right.
Right, you need a keyboard. It's heavy on the keyboard, the Doors. So after every song we played, play some Jim Morrison, play some Jim Morrison. And my mate Mike, the guitar player, was getting sick of the fella, and he did what you should never do, which is take him on.
Yeah.
So he goes up to the mic and he shouts, we haven't got a keyboard, you idiot. In fact, I don't know if he called him an idiot. It might have been a bit stronger than that. But he put this guy in his place. And half the audience turned around and went, it wouldn't even sound right if we tried to do Doors without a keyboard.
Yeah.
So during the next song, which I think was Last Train to Clarksville by the Monkees, I think, this bottle came over and smashed on the monitor wedge right in front of me. So it got close.
Yeah.
It was a beer bottle, got close. So, of course, we came off straight away, and then we said, just chuck him out, we'll carry on, which is what we did. They threw him out and whatever. But that's not the coolest way to deal with it. Later, I saw the coolest way to deal with it. I saw Mick Jagger. For a while there, Mick Jagger was on his own when the Rolling Stones were off the road. And the Rolling Stones were banned from playing in Japan because of drugs convictions for Keith, I think. And so Mick Jagger did a tour of Japan. But he also took in a bit of Pacific Rim. I think he did Sydney and he did Auckland. So we went down to Western Springs Stadium in Auckland. And Mick Jagger came out. And during his first song, a bottle came sailing over and glanced off the back of his head.
Wow.
He ran. The song didn't stop. The musicians, the backing band he had with him, kept playing with Joe Satriani, great guitar player. The band kept on rocking. It was the opening number, the one to get everybody going. Mick rubbed the back of his head, ran off to the side. Somebody kind of must have just checked him out, ran back on, finished the song, went into the next song, didn't say anything, and I think it was after about the third song, he goes, "Good evening, Auckland, oh, you sweethearts. Apart from the buggeroo through the bottle." And that was the gig. That's how you deal with it.
Yeah.
But Morrissey, bottle comes out. I think with Morrissey, I think it was a plastic bottle as well with Morrissey in the Northwest recently. He stormed off, refused to do the rest of the gig. That's not very rock and roll, okay?
No.
So now he's in an airport and he gets frisked. And he's claiming now he's been sexually assaulted.
Yeah, he claims this airport security officer groped him. He's written about this on his website as well. Goes into quite a lot of detail about exactly what was touched as well.
Okay.
And he's warning other travellers using that particular airport to prepare for
Isn't the whole idea of becoming a lead singer in a band so that total strangers will touch you in inappropriate places? Good cop, bad cop. Julia.
I have a good cop story.
Great.
Just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
So it's about 30 odd years ago. I used to do bar, top up the finances.
You used to do what?
Do bar work.
Okay.
You know, go work in clubs or in pubs.
Yeah.
And so it's about midnight. I used to drive an old Morris Traveller. I got stopped.
Yeah.
And I thought, and I sort of said to the guy, I said, look, I probably smell of beer. I haven't touched the drop. Oh, yeah, no, that's all right. We're just sort of checking, late night drivers. And I thought, right, okay. And he sort of looked round, everything was fine. And I was sort of expecting him just to let us go.
Yeah.
But he said, oh, no, I've got to write out a ticket and all this. So I'm just wondering whether it's one of those targets.
Yeah.
It was a nice enough chat.
Yeah.
Now get to this. So this is midnight, back of where no sort of bad place. And then he goes, but you're not to laugh at the name on the ticket.
Uh-huh.
So I said, pardon? He said, you're not to laugh. So of course he wrote the ticket out and I had a look. And it was PC Sweeney.
No.
Yeah, and I just, so it just makes me smile, because I always say to people, well, I got stopped by the Sweeney.
Thank you so much, Julia.
You know what? He probably still lives in the area. It'd be great if he
I hope he's still.
I'm that PC.
I hope he's a detective now. Oh, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
probably.
Yeah.
All right, cheers.
I'm Graham Mack, and I hope you're enjoying the podcast. If you are, make sure you share it on Facebook and Twitter, and you can subscribe at iTunes. Now, what's the most daring thing you've ever done? Carol.
I am absolutely petrified of bats.
Bats?
Bats.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in a little... I've got to remember the name of it. Kuranda.
Oh, in the central western New South Wales?
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked there. I worked the parks. I used to present the show on 2PK, Hits and Memories 2PK.
Oh, right.
So I know the area well. It's pretty flat, pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've got the right place. There used to be a bat sanctuary there.
All right.
Or still is, or...
Mm-hmm.
And I walked in, I expected to see these bats behind cages.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't.
Oh.
And there was a lady with this fruit bat.
Mm-hmm.
And
They're big, aren't they?
I nearly died.
They're not like these little teeny-weeny European ones. They got a thing there called a flying fox.
Well, that's it.
It's huge.
Just walking up the streets anywhere in Oz, it was... my husband used to think it was funny to say, oh, look, of course, I'd just duck.
Yeah, the trees would be full of them. You get a thunderstorm and away they go. It's like a horror movie. Yeah.
I know, it's so scary, but I got within, I should think, 5 inches from this bat that this woman was holding.
Uh-huh.
So, it was, even now it's...
Carol, thank you very much for sharing it. I'm sorry I had to put you through that.
That's okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, see you, bye.
Cheers, bye. Now, Vince, you're going bad cop on this one.
We went and watched, my friend, me and my mates went and watched Ware Town play, come outside, went to go home. Me and my mate went one way and our other friend went the other. Shouted across the road, "Bye, Nick." Police had his window down.
Mm-hmm.
And we walked in round the corner, he pulled up, he said, "Come on in, lads, if you want some." I said,
"What?
What's this all about?" And he goes, "Oh, this Nick. It must have been Jim
Davidson's catchphrase. He used to take the mickey out of coppers and say, "Nick, Nick, Nick." That a Nickometer.
Yeah. And he thought we was making. I said, "No, we're generally to our friend by Nick because his name's Nicholas." And he goes, "Oh, that old one." And then he went, "Oh, all right." And he got in his car and drove off.
Oh, that's very sensitive. He's really not cut out for police work, is he?
No.
All right.
And also, going back to the lady who was on the phone a little while back about strange names.
Yes.
We done a job because I'm a builder.
Yeah.
And then done this conservatory for this guy, and he's a policeman in Stevenage.
Yeah.
His name was Mr. Sherlock.
No. So when he makes a mistake in his police work, someone will go, "Nice going, Sherlock." Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Vince.
No problem.
Cheers. Your dealings with the police. Rachel.
The scariest thing I've ever done was actually a couple of weeks ago admit to you live on air how much I weigh and how old I am.
Now, how did I coax that out of you?
You were basically asking questions. We were talking about fad diets, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I go to Slimming World, and you basically asked me how much I weigh, and after a bit of hesitation, you said, obviously, if I'm that embarrassed about it, obviously I'm doing something about it.
Yes, I think the first point of admitting you have a problem is admitting you have a problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you made, and I kind of sort of like happened to tell you how much I weigh.
Okay, and at that time, how much did you weigh?
I can't remember. I think it was 16 stone.
Have you lost weight since then?
Yes, a stone and a half.
Oh, well, hey, good for you. So...
I'm getting there.
You're getting there. So what do you weigh right now?
Oh, I'm not falling for that again.
106 Bob FM.
Talking about holidays from hell. What's your story, Elaine?
Oh, we went to Jamaica.
Hmm.
And we was walking up the street and somebody kept trying to braid my hair.
What, while you were walking along?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went up these steps and went into this little room, like what's supposed to be a little shop.
Yeah.
And I had 4 of them on my head.